A $10 lifter destroys most HEMI engines before 200,000 miles. The owners who reach 450,000 never let that lifter wear out. 3 reasons HEMIs die early. 5 habits that double their lifespan. Your engine's expiration date is your decision. Start with the failure mode that kills more HEMIs than every other cause combined. Multi-Displacement System lifter wear. MDS shuts down 4 of your 8 cylinders under light load to save fuel. Highway cruising, light throttle, easy traffic. The system is cycling. 8 cylinders, then 4, then 8 again, sometimes within the same minute. On a quiet drive, the cycle repeats hundreds of times. Every transition loads and unloads the roller lifters that control cylinder deactivation. At low RPM, and especially during prolonged idle, oil delivery to those rollers becomes inconsistent. Splash lubrication doesn't reach the rollers evenly when the engine is loafing. Microscopic wear builds on the roller follower surface, invisible at 50,000 miles, still hidden at 80,000, then suddenly catastrophic somewhere between 100,000 and 120,000. When a lifter collapses, the camshaft becomes the next casualty. The collapsed lifter gouges the cam lobe directly underneath it. Metal debris breaks loose and circulates through the oiling system. By the time the tick reaches your ears, the cam is already destroyed. A full teardown follows. Heads off, valve train out, cam replaced, every oil passage flushed. The repair bill out of warranty lands between $8,000 and $12,000 depending on the shop and the damage extent. No fluid level warned you. No compression test caught it early. A $10 lifter walked away with a $10,000 engine. Walk through any RAM forum thread on lifter failure and the pattern repeats itself. Owners report the first symptom appearing at 115,000 miles, 120,000, 130,000, a faint metallic tick at idle that gets louder over the next 2 weeks. By the time most owners take the truck to a shop, the metal shavings have already migrated through the entire oiling system. The repair quote arrives. The decision tree narrows to 2 options. Pay $8,000 to $12,000 for a rebuild on a truck worth $15,000. Or trade it in at salvage value and start the financial conversation over with a new payment. The HEMI lifter failure isn't a maintenance problem. It's a design vulnerability that activates when MDS cycles thousands of times over a decade of driving. Owners who never read the words Multi-Displacement System in their owner's manual are the ones currently funding rebuild shops across the country. The 5.7 HEMI is fundamentally a strong engine. The MDS implementation built into it is the single mechanical feature that turns strong engines into salvage yards. The second killer is the one written into your owner's manual, and most owners never read it carefully enough to notice. Oil viscosity. Your Chrysler manual approves both 5W20 and 5W30 for the 5.7 HEMI. Approved and equivalent are not the same word. 5W20 exists in that manual for one reason: corporate average fuel economy compliance. It buys Chrysler 1/10 of a mile per gallon on the EPA test cycle. It does not buy your engine longevity. At operating temperature, 5W20 produces a thinner oil film than 5W30. That thinner film coats the same lifter rollers and cam lobes already at risk from MDS cycling. At low RPM and during idle, exactly when MDS engages, oil pressure drops naturally as engine speed falls. Thinner oil at lower pressure means a thinner protective film on the components that fail most often on this engine. Metal-on-metal contact becomes more frequent. Wear accelerates on the surfaces that determine whether your HEMI sees 300,000 miles or stops at 150. 5W30 maintains a measurably thicker film at the same operating temperature. The trade-off is 1 to 2% in fuel economy, about $100 per year in fuel cost for a typical driver. The payoff is 50,000 to 100,000 miles of additional lifter life. You save $100 a year on gas. You pay $10,000 for an engine rebuild at 150,000 miles. The math doesn't favor the cheaper oil. The viscosity decision matters most during the conditions where most HEMI owners actually drive. stop-and-go traffic on hot summer days, highway cruising in light load where MDS engages, cold mornings when the oil hasn't yet reached full operating temperature. Every one of those scenarios pushes the protection envelope of 5W20 to its lower edge. 5W30 operates in those same conditions with margin to spare. Margin is what longevity is built on. Without it, every cycle of the engine is operating closer to the failure threshold than it needs to be. Some Chrysler service bulletins issued for high-mileage HEMI applications and tow-heavy operation specifically authorize the switch to 5W30 without warranty consequence. The factory engineers understood the trade-off. They published the alternative. The fuel economy specification stayed printed on the cap because the EPA test cycle is what writes the rules, not the lifter that needs protection at 120,000 miles. The third killer is the screen on your dashboard that you've been trusting for years. The oil life monitor isn't a sensor. It's a generic algorithm running calculations based on average driving patterns, highway miles, average RPM, trip duration, cold start frequency. It doesn't know whether you towed 8,000 pounds last weekend. It doesn't measure ambient temperature. It can't detect ethanol blend variation, dirty air intake conditions, or extended idle in stop-and-go traffic. It estimates wear based on assumptions about how the average truck owner drives. For most HEMI owners, the ones living in cold climates, sitting in urban traffic, towing occasionally, running short trips, the monitor overestimates remaining oil life by 30 to 50%. When the display reads 30% life remaining, the actual oil has already degraded past its protective threshold. Friction modifiers are spent. Anti-wear additives are depleted. The fluid in your pan is still oil, but it's no longer the lubricant your HEMI was designed to run on. Tow/haul mode and MDS cycling both push thermal and mechanical stress beyond the algorithm's baseline assumptions. The monitor wasn't programmed for your truck's actual workload. It was programmed for fleet averages and CAFE compliance modeling. 5,000 miles is the real interval for a HEMI 5.7, regardless of what the dashboard claims. The display was written for a regulatory audience. Your engine wasn't. Pull a used oil analysis on any HEMI that ran 9,000 miles between changes based on the monitor's recommendation, and the result is consistent. Total base number depleted below the threshold of additive protection. Iron and copper wear metals climbing into the range that indicates internal component breakdown. Soot levels elevated past what a fresh oil charge would carry. The lubricant did its job for the first half of the interval. The second half was the engine eating itself in slow motion. 5,000 miles is not a Chrysler recommendation. It's what owners hitting 450,000 miles have been doing for decades. They ignored the screen. They followed the calendar. And the lifters that destroyed everyone else's engine are still operating exactly the way they did at 50,000 miles. If that changes how you think about your next oil change, hit subscribe and drop a comment below telling me how many miles you currently run between oil changes. That's the data point I want to see across the channel. Now here's what owners hitting 450,000 miles do differently. The first habit is non-negotiable. 5W30, full synthetic at 5,000 miles. No exceptions. 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. Full synthetic exclusively, never conventional, never synthetic blend on a HEMI running MDS. The proven brands across high-mileage HEMI documentation are Mobil 1 Extended Performance, Pennzoil Platinum, Royal Purple HMX, and Valvoline Restore and Protect. The correct quantity is 7 quarts with a filter change. The Chrysler specification is MS6395. Filter choice matters more than most owners realize. Mopar OEM, Wix, or Fram Ultra, those three pass enough particulate filtration to catch wear debris before it reaches the lifter bores. Economy filters that fail to capture particles below 30 microns let the exact debris that destroys camshafts circulate through the oil galleries unimpeded. The $5 savings on a cheap filter costs you the rebuild it didn't prevent. In Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and any region where your truck cold starts below freezing for months at a time, drop the interval further, 3,000 to 4,000 miles. Short trips never let the oil reach full operating temperature. Moisture and fuel dilution accumulate in cold running oil and degrade its protective additives faster than mileage alone suggests. 5,000 miles is the discipline that separates your HEMI from the scrapyard. The second habit is the cheapest engine protection ever installed in a Ram, and most owners drive past it every day without pressing it. Disable MDS through tow/haul mode or APCM tuner. Tow/haul prevents MDS from activating the moment you press the button. The transmission holds higher RPMs and more aggressive shift points, which keeps the engine out of the operating range where cylinder deactivation engages. The cycling stops. The roller lifters see consistent loading. The single mechanical event that causes most HEMI failures is taken off the table for free with one finger every time you drive. The cost is 1 to 2 miles per gallon. The benefit is 50,000 to 100,000 miles of additional engine life. For owners who want the protection without remembering to press a button, a PCM tuner, Diablo, HEMI Fever, or comparable reprograms the engine computer to permanently disable MDS. The tuner runs $300 to $500. 2015 and newer HEMIs require an additional PCM unlock service around $200 before the tune can flash. Total investment for permanent MDS deletion, $500 to $700. Compare that figure to $8,000 to $12,000 for an engine rebuild after a lifter collapses. The cheapest button on your dashboard is also the most effective component in your maintenance arsenal. Every press extends the life of your HEMI by a measurable margin. What 450,000-mile owners have figured out is that tow/haul isn't a towing button. It's an engine protection button that happens to also be useful when towing. They press it on the way to work. They press it during stop-and-go traffic. They press it on highway runs where MDS would cycle hundreds of times across a single commute. The fuel economy hit is real, but minor. The lifter protection is invisible until you reach the mileage where everyone else's engine has already failed. The third habit addresses the system most owners forget until something fails. Cooling system service every 60,000 miles. Your HEMI runs HOAT coolant, hybrid organic acid technology, sold as the Mopar Antifreeze 10-year, 150,000-mile formula. The bottle says 10 years. The corrosion inhibitors inside that bottle don't last 10 years. They degrade meaningfully after about 60,000 miles, regardless of what the label promises. When the inhibitors fall below their protective threshold, corrosion begins inside the cooling system. The components under attack are all aluminum: your radiator, your water pump, your heater core, and the surface of your HEMI's aluminum heads near the gasket interface. Aluminum corrodes from the inside outward. By the time a leak shows up externally, the damage inside the head has been progressing for months. A heater core replacement alone exceeds $1,000 in labor because of how deeply it sits inside the dashboard. Never mix coolant types. HOAT does not combine with conventional green, OAT, or IAT formulations. Chemical incompatibility creates gel deposits that block passages and stop circulation entirely. If you've ever topped off with the wrong color coolant, do a complete drain and refill immediately. The correct service is a full drain, not a top-off, not a partial flush, every 60,000 miles. Materials run $80 to $120. Labor is 1 hour in your driveway. The day you avoid stopping on the shoulder with a steaming engine is the day you'll thank every coolant service you ever performed. Pay attention to color and clarity at every service. Healthy HOAT coolant is a clear orange-pink. When it turns brown, cloudy, or develops particulate suspension, the inhibitor package has already collapsed and corrosion has been underway for thousands of miles. That's not the time to debate intervals. That's the time to flush immediately and assess what damage has already been done. The fourth habit is the one most owners stretch past every recommended interval, and it costs them more than they realize. Replace all 16 spark plugs every 80,000 miles. Your HEMI runs 2 plugs per cylinder. 8 cylinders means 16 plugs. The correct specification is NGK LZFR 5AI11 or the equivalent Mopar OEM part. Never install cheap copper plugs in a HEMI. The heat range and electrode design are wrong, and they fail measurably faster. Chrysler recommends replacement at 100,000 miles. Real-world wear becomes visible at 80,000. Gap erosion, electrode rounding, ceramic discoloration. Replace all 16 simultaneously, never half. On HEMIs running MDS, the plugs and cylinders that get deactivated experience different thermal cycles than the always firing cylinders. Replacing only 8 creates mismatched firing characteristics and irregular misfire patterns that the engine control module struggles to compensate for. Misfires you ignore become expensive failures downstream. Unburned fuel destroys catalytic converters. $800 to $1,200 per side. Oxygen sensors fail from contamination. $300 to $500 each. The cascade from 16 worn spark plugs reaches the rebuild conversation faster than most owners expect. 16 plugs at $80 to $90 per plug, or $8,000 on catalytic converters, sensors, and an engine that misfired its way into an early teardown. Choose your number. A practical note on the job itself. The HEMI spark plug change is one of the most labor-intensive routine services in the truck world. Plug access on the passenger side requires removing components most owners haven't touched since the truck left the factory. Anti-seize on every plug thread, torque specification followed precisely. 12 to 15 pound-feet on the new plug, no more. Over-torquing strips the aluminum head. Under-torquing leaves combustion gases blowing past the gasket. Either error converts a maintenance job into a head repair, and head repairs on aluminum start at $1,500 before you've replaced anything significant. Set aside 3 to 4 hours for the first time you do this yourself. 2 hours after that as you learn the access points. Or budget $400 to $600 at a competent independent shop. Both options beat the $8,000 conversation you'd have if the misfires you ignored damaged the converter and the sensors before you got around to the plugs. The fifth habit is the one most owners violate every winter morning. Cold start discipline. The moment you turn the key, your HEMI is at its most vulnerable mechanical state of the entire driving cycle. Oil sits at maximum viscosity. It hasn't reached the lifters or the cam yet. Metal components haven't expanded to their operating tolerances. Clearances are tightest. Lubrication film thickness is at its thinnest of the day. Idle 5 to 10 seconds after start, then drive gently for the first 5 minutes. Keep RPM below 2,500. No revving immediately after startup. No aggressive throttle before the temperature gauge reaches the halfway point. Highway merging during the first 5 minutes is the single most damaging cycle you can put a cold HEMI through. High RPM under load while oil pressure and film strength are still climbing toward operating levels. In severe winter climates, anywhere temperatures drop below 10 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit overnight, install a block heater. Block heaters cost $30 to $50 on Amazon. They plug into a standard outlet 8 hours before departure. The engine preheats to a temperature where the oil flows immediately and the metal is closer to operating clearance before combustion begins. Some owners run their block heaters on a timer set to start 3 to 4 hours before the morning commute. Long enough to warm the block, short enough to keep the electricity bill reasonable across a Minnesota winter. Owners in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and northern Ohio who reach 450,000 miles have used block heaters every winter of their truck's life. The ones whose engines died at 140,000 started cold every January morning without one, and accelerated onto highways before the oil had reached the top end. Your engine dies slowly across every winter, you abuse it that way. Owners at 450,000 miles learned that lesson in the first 5 years of ownership. Everyone else learns it in the rebuild shop. Most HEMIs die because owners don't know what's killing them. Now you do. Want to know which years of HEMI carry the highest risk? Check the 4 worst and 3 best RAM years to buy video. Want to delete MDS permanently? The 10 illegal tricks video shows you exactly how.